from the last past 2Ks, I decided to end up making a taller build. I always made the 7 or I end up making a 6'8 build that can dribble, dunk the ball, and decently shoot and play some type of defense. Usually I end up having it as my LeBron James build, a Zion build, something like that. Most of you guys remember in NBA 2K20, we had playmaking glass cleaners that was literally taking over the game, especially with the two-way slashing playmaker. And then in NBA 2K21, we had the post playmaker build. And then if you played next gen, you experienced the score machine 6'7 and 6'8 builds that you can use. But the first pie chart that I ever experienced using the actual post play or the playmaking glass cleaner was the yellow and blue pie chart. And with the yellow and blue pie chart in NBA 2K21, this game was, I can say it was below average, but I still can shoot with the build. And with the ball control, I can go crazy with this build because they got pro dribble moves. But look, as of using this build, I got crazy contact dunks, crazy oops, crazy on defense, but not everybody can use this build. But how 2K22 is set up this year, would you be able to shoot at least like a 53 3-pointer? Even you can shoot with a 33 3-pointer. If you know how to time your jump shot, you got the right badges on, how to hit the shot. But as me actually testing out that, I was like, okay, I want to test out using another LeBron type build. I just tested out the actual playmaking glass pie chart. The only thing I felt different on this build was the Hall of Fame defense. I did feel like I was moving better on defense compared to me having Hall of Fame finishing and Hall of Fame playmaking, but I do feel better getting it to the hole with a Hall of Fame finishing, as it was more consistent. My drive and dunk tendency was actually higher than what I would use with having only gold finishing on this build. But the thing about this build, I can say, when I was using it, even though both builds are 6'7", it felt like I could get more stops, of course, since I have Hall of Fame defensive, and that's what you really need, especially on 2K22. This being an ISO center type build, most of the time you're going to end up playing 2s on this type of build, unless you're going to play the 2 on the 3s court on this build, unless you're going to play lockdown. I would prefer you not to play lockdown in this build, just because you're being 6'7", and with mismatch expert being a badge in the game, it's going to activate every time, especially if you're playing with a center build while you're on basically a center build. Basically both y'all checking the pick and roll or even checking on ISO. Any little space that guard or that person that's 6 foot or 6'2" that gets on you, or even a blinders, it's going to pop up every single time. Even if y'all guys try to double team him, he's going to get a mismatch expert on one of the 2 defenders on the pick and roll or even on the ISO. As this being one of the 2 ways that you can create a playmaking glass cleaner on NBA 2K22, this is the ISO version of this build. This is the one that can dribble. This is the one that's going to get an 80 ball control at 99 overall. If you're someone that can't keep a 99 overall, you should not be trying to use this build unless you're going to consistently keep this build at 99. Unless you're someone that wins on a consistent basis, you won't have to worry about keeping this build at 99. So check this out. As I'm going to try to at least get a decent amount of finishing badges, as I was messing with this build and making it an ISO type build, as a 19 playmaking badges on this build compared to 18, that 19 extra playmaking badge makes a big difference. But as of having 8 shooting badges on this build, I wanted 9, but when you're trying to get 9, you will have to lower your finishing or you have to lower your playmaking and defensive ratings to actually get a 9 shooting badge. So as I have 7, 8, 19, and 16, you might ask, why you only have 16 defensive badges? Most of the badges I'm going to be using anyway are going to be on gold, silver, and bronze. Most of the best badges on defense end up working on bronze. And how the game is on this year, it seems like most of the badges that run silver or bronze, they even work better than the ones that's on gold, unless it's mostly when it comes to rebounding and worm like that. But like I said earlier, if you're running 2s and you're going to be the main ball handler, you're not going to need that many defensive badges. 16 should be good enough, especially you should check ball or even check the corner. I didn't put no interior defense up on this build for a reason, because interior defense on this game is just broken in general. So it's no point in me to waste badge points on interior defense. But as I make this build 6'7" and somewhat close to the lowest weight, I'm not going fully close to the lowest weight. I'm gonna go around to 188, so I still have a 90 speed and an 88 acceleration. So I still get a 98 speed at 99 on this build. As long as y'all boys do y'all workouts right, or if you get gym rat, you will still have that 98 speed. So check this out. As I do the wingspan, on this build, we do get contact dunks. At 98 overall, we unlock pro contact dunks. It might not be the best contact dunks, but they're still contact dunks. Also, as you reach 98 on the overall, you will unlock them pro dribble moves as well, As well, you will still have a 65 3-point rating at 99. 65 3-pointer rating, you can green with that very consistently, especially if you find the right jump shot for this build. When it comes to the ball control in this build, as you have in a 76, once you hit 99, you get the 80. Once you find certain moves to use with this, you will be literally unstoppable because you're going to have a 98 speed with a 6'7 build at the power 4 position, because most of the time you're going to have a lockdown, or you're going to have a center guarding you, and you still get past a lockdown, especially with this build. But if you're someone that's trying to find a build to hawk rep on, this pie chart is one of the best pie charts you can use, especially if you're someone that doesn't really get oops like that. You still can catch oops, you can get past assists, you can throw lobs, you can literally play defense on this build. So if you want to end up making this and you don't put any shooting on this build, this will be the version that you will make if you don't care for any shooting on this build. But if you're the type of person that normally plays inside center and you don't care to shoot, you're just here to try to get rep, the main pie charts that I would prefer to use is this yellow red or even a red blue pie chart. But as you get the badge count 9, 1, 19, and 18, you want 10 finishing badges on this build. All you gotta do is lower your playmaking or lower just a little on your defense, and you will be able to get that 10 finishing badge on this build. But as this being basically a inside center, a full inside center build, actually using what it's supposed to do, you're going to end up making this build 6'8", and you're going to max out the wingspan, and you're going to go lowest weight if you choose speed and vertical pie chart for your physical. If you're going speed vertical pie chart for your physical, go lowest weight. But if you go speed pie chart, the first pie chart on your physical profile, you're going to end up making this build around the 190 or almost around the 200 mark. As long as you mess with it, you're going to still have like a 90 something speed or 95 speed. If you don't care to have a 95 speed, you will just take a 90 speed. It's way better than having an 82. But when it comes to the takeovers, if you're caring to dunk the ball, you can have slashing takeover. But if you're isoing, I prefer you go with playmaking takeover. But if you're someone that's going to be playing that inside center role, I prefer you go glass takeover, especially if you're someone that's definitely going to be rep grinding. The glass takeover one would be the most prominent one to use. But if you're someone that's going to be isoing on this build, the slashing and the playmaking one would be the best choice to use on this build. As you're making a playmaking glass center, you're going to end up choosing a playmaking one if you're going to try to break ankles, get crazy highlights. But if you're someone that just want to get crazy dunks, pick the slash and takeover. But as we get the name playmaking glass center for this build, look. As you get playmaking glass center, this is always a build that never fails. Even if 2K tries to nerf it just like in 2K21, this build never fails. I don't know what it is. With them actually using this build or having this pie chart in the game, it never fails. It can be literally a lockdown build or it can end up being a slashing build. But the thing about it, this pie chart never fails every year. But as we get into the badges, I have 7 finishing badges. You can put everything on silver if you want and then put one on bronze. But as I'm playing with this, I might as well put my posterizer on gold, fearless finisher on silver. I don't even have to rock out with the slithery finisher on gold or anything. I'm gonna just leave it as it is and see how it goes. But when it comes to shooting badges, as we only have 8 shooting badges, the main prominent thing we're going to end up doing is mess with the hot zone hunter, the sniper. We're going to mess with the stop and pop, because especially if you're isoing on this build, the stop and pop is going to be key because you get a crazy boost from stop and pop. And then we're going to put our green machine on bronze. There being so many great shooting badges this year on NBA 2K22, I've been noticing it's no point for me to have green machine on silver, gold, Hall of Fame. I've been using this on my play shot, my slasher on bronze, and it hasn't gave me no problems. It literally activates when I need it to activate. After I maybe hit 2 greens in a row, this badge is already activated. I'm already locked and loaded. My player is ready to go crazy. But when it comes to playmaking badges, the only thing you need on Hall of Fame is handles for days and quick first step. Those are the main 2 things that you need on Hall of Fame. For unpluckable, I've been rocking with unpluckable on silver. Most of the time, I would say use it on a higher level, but how 2K buffed unpluckable this year and nerfed the stealing on this game, I prefer to use it on silver. And how minutes works on this game, it doesn't work how it's supposed to work. Until 2K fixed the minutes badge, I would prefer you to use unpluckable on the lowest rating of silver. But check this out. If with 16 defensive badges, I would prefer you to put this any way you want to put it, because it's based on if you're playing the point guard or you're going to play the 2. Even if you run the 3 and run small ball with a 6'7" at the 3. But look, if you're going to end up making this playmaking glass cleaner, make sure you drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, hit that bell, and hit all. Hopefully 2K fixes the my point glitch for people can actually grind their builds out to 99. But look, it been your man ChaMoma. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.